I want to show you how you can use this to help you write a better email. Sponsor signal is designed to help you figure out who are spending right now. I think that's the most important signal. You want to figure out who are spending, who are buying and scaling, rather than just browsing a database without having any information what you want to do. So usually, how I would approach writing emails for any prospect is trying to figure out who are spending. On the dashboard, by default, all the brands are sorted by activity score, so you can see who are exactly like spending more, like based on the last sponsorship date and how many they have been buying. I will score them based on this. So let's say most of the time you're going to represent a few newsletters, or if you are in the GTM team, you want to know like what brand are spending. How I would do is try to see which industry you represent and then use the filter itself. Let's say you are selling more on the AI and machine learning platforms. Then you can take a look at all brands that are spending. The first thing I would see, maybe we want to know like who are spending. We can see that on the top of the like on the first page, you have this code rabbit guide. I'll pick something more on the productive scale. Let's say we choose Whisperflow. If you open the page, you have this page of summary of where they've been spending. Like, okay, Whisperflow is scaling in the past 40 days. So they have 4 placements. And then you can see in June, they have 5, 4, and 3. This is dependent of the newsletter I'm tracking. So the more newsletter I track, the more rich this information is going to be and how early I track. So in here, you can see that they're buying on the Neuron and Superhuman. That tells you 2 things like, hey, if you're buying on the Neuron and Superhuman, maybe you want to consider the newsletter I represent. And another good way to write an email is to refer to their recent creative. Like you can take a screenshot of this or just mention something like, hey, I take a look at this and it looks great. Have you ever considered trying something similar? That's just one way how you can write an email. You'll be coming as someone who is informed of what they are doing instead of just trying to write a very generic email without knowing where they have been spending. Okay, let's go back to the page. Let's take a look at something else. Like, let's take a look at Meticulous. So you know they have been spending on all the tech newsletter, how many placement the last 30 days, and then they used to buy, but they stopped buying on React Status and UI Dev. But you can see that they have a certain patterns. Like okay, they allocate maybe a budget to buy 2 or 3 newsletter every month. So they probably find that React Digest is worth investing, so they keep repeating the buy. However, if you can find some newsletter you are already selling that are in the dev space and then you want to reach out, or even if you are a newsletter operator and then you want to offer them something, this is where you're going to get those informations. One of the reasons why I didn't put any context is I believe that most of the people, like sales, they have their own tools to get context. You have your own insights and decisions in deciding which one to reach out. Like you don't always go for the CEO immediately. Sometimes you want to go for the people who are buying, and some of the brands are under agencies. So having those knowledge yourself would be great because it's not going to be very accurate if I'm trying to put it inside this platform. So I'm just going to make this tool as a sales intelligence tools where it's going to make you look smart when you talk to them instead of trying to figure out like just sending a like I say generic email without any enough substance in this case. So yeah, if you see them buy in React Digest, you can click on it. Then you can check out like, okay, the recent placement, like React Digest, who are they? Who are buying? And this is the cool stuff, categories breakdown. Like what is the cluster of brands that are buying on React status? So we can see that most of them are dev tools. You have Ridiculous, Cloud, you have machine learning, AI platform. And then we almost see something like Postman, like it's more on productivity and collaborations. So we can maybe open a new page later to check it out. And then you can also see like how many other newsletters that overlap with these newsletters. Like if they buy on React Digest, do we see other brands that are also buying? And then maybe they overlap somehow. So Pointer, TLDR. So we see that they've also buy on TLDR. React is very dev focused. TLDR is more tech. So you can see that Work OS club, they have like the whole time, lifetime 135 sponsors. They are scaling, so they are buying a lot. And we have this Devin maybe testing the water. So maybe I want to check it out too. So I open Postman. It's more on the productivity based on here and DevTools. And let's take a look. Like, oh, then you can learn more about like where they're buying, where they're pausing, same stuff. And then the recent placement on the neuron. What is their message? And then we also look at Devin AI, same things. We can see they have stuff on buying on where. So what is the most simplest way you can do? Refer to their most recent placements, see where they are buying, see where they are overlapping, and then make an email based on that information.